Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Delighted to have your company on a very profound topic. You may have noticed in the news and the news wires that Canada and India have started a bilateral reset. Now, how does that reset lead to results? Canada is a resource-rich nation. India is a burgeoning economy. Both partners could come together, have a symbiotic relationship to mutual advantage. So to decode that approaching horizon, to explore some of the opportunities, dare I say also some challenges, we are delighted to have Honorable Tim Hodgson, who is the Minister for Energy and Natural Resources of Canada. And he's been here for a couple of days. Ms. Hodgson, good to have your company. Thank you so much for making time from your busy schedule. Take it away, instead of me sort of rambling on about opportunities and volumes of commodities and India's economy. You know the lay of the land. Tell us, give us your pitch. How would this reset work and actually lead to tangible results from your perspective, sir?
So let me just start. I think the Prime Minister's speech in Davos, which I'm assuming most of the audience have heard. If you haven't heard it, I would encourage you to take a listen. He kind of laid the framework for what's happening in the world. The international rules-based order that we all have been working with for the last 80 years, since the end of World War II, is being changed. And as he said in his Davos speech, there's a rupture. There's a rupture where some of the major countries in the world are using our integration, the existing integration, for economic coercion. And they are using tariffs to create leverage. I don't need to tell India, you're experiencing that. We are experiencing that. What I thought was so interesting about what the Prime Minister said in Davos is he offered a positive, proactive solution. The solution for countries that believe that's not the way we should move forward is to rewire our economies, to build new trading relationships, to build trading relationships with like-minded partners that believe in multilateralism, that believe in free trade, and diversify, as he called it, diversify away from that leverage and create a stronger, more secure country. I think it's quite fitting that India announced the mother of all deals, I think it was yesterday, which is proof positive. That is exactly what the Prime Minister was talking about. Control your own destiny, create those stronger multilateral so that countries have more self-determination, more resilience, more energy security, because energy security is national security. So what does that all mean? Well, Canada is a clean and conventional energy superpower. We have almost every critical mineral any country could want. We have some of the world's largest reserves of conventional oil and natural gas. We are one of the world's largest suppliers of uranium. I could keep going. What's very clear to all of you and increasingly clear to me is India is an incredibly vibrant economy. Certainly when I see the growth rates you're experiencing here, they are the envy of the world. And what does that mean? It means that India is one of the largest consumers of energy in the world. What I think we heard from Minister Puri yesterday is that 1/3 of the total increase in energy demand over the coming years is going to be from India. In a world where we expect energy demand to double by 2050, that's a lot of energy. We're a huge supplier. You're a huge consumer. We will both be stronger if we do more together. Someone was just asking me, well, like, put that in context. I'll just pick one product, oil. We produce about 6% of the world's oil today. India gets less than 1% of its
Indeed.
oil from Canada. If we just sort of paired up to a normal percentage, that would make us both stronger, more resilient, more secure. That's a huge opportunity for
Indeed.
both of us.
Let's go around that track. Let's start with traditional energy. Let's start with traditional hydrocarbons, because if I may dare say that whenever somebody thinks of Canada, it's one of the masthead commodities that you export to your neighbors and beyond, to Eastern markets. Now, there are certain operational complexities, there are certain pipeline constraints, there are some domestic politics, dare I say. How do you want a collaborative partnership with India? The cargoes are not meaningful yet, but you'd like them to be meaningful. So when we specifically talk of hydrocarbons and the potential of sending it to this part of the world, what are your thoughts? How does Canada itself, dare I say, get its house in order to increase the volumes?
India is buying, already buying meaningful amounts of LNG
Yes,
and oil from Canada. They're just buying it off the Gulf Coast.
Indeed.
Because our infrastructure
is going there.
is
Sure.
all headed down to the Gulf Coast. We are now building infrastructure to our West Coast. That'll knock 10 days to 2 weeks off the shipping time for the oil and the natural gas. That's money.
Indeed.
That's cheaper supply for India. That's more profit for us. It also reduces a link in the chain. Right now, we have so much gas in Canada that we're selling it very cheaply.
Indeed.
Into the U.S. They're selling it as LNG to you. We're going to move it to the West Coast, and we're going to capture that spread.
Indeed. Let's go beyond hydrocarbons. We only have a finite amount of time. We've got so much to cover there. Uranium is another export product of yours, and if you look at it, this goes back sort of 10 odd years of working with India. You're here to accentuate those ties for India to collaborate more meaningfully with you. So what's the potential there, sir, for cooperation between Ottawa and New Delhi?
Well, I think we heard yesterday from Minister Puri that India's goal is to build an additional 100 gigawatts of nuclear power. That's a lot of nuclear power. That will require a lot of uranium. Canada has the highest quality, purest concentration of uranium of any country in the world. We have historically supplied uranium to India. We supply uranium for peaceful purposes to countries all over the world. There's a tremendous opportunity for us to increase our supplies. That gives you an additional source of uranium, of low cost, high quality uranium. And that gives us another buyer. That makes you more secure, more resilient. That makes us more secure, more resilient. That's a win-win.
Absolutely. Now, we often get caught up in sort of the signature commodities, signature energy commodities, but you have a wealth of natural resources from tungsten to zinc to non-metals, potash to the platinum family of metals. There is a whole world of commodities out there. This economy is burgeoning. It is recording phenomenal exponential rates of growth. Now, from your vision, from some of the economists at the Canadian end, you can possibly analyze the spectrum. Where do you see some of these key opportunities in the wider commodities complex?
Yeah, so one of the things that has been a very positive and pleasant surprise for me here is I didn't fully understand before I got here the level of ambition and actually the level of success of some of your renewables companies. Your ambitions around solar production and domestic solar capabilities, your capabilities around grid storage, and combining those two things, your capabilities around green hydrogen. That's really exciting. All of those products are going to require critical minerals. What I've heard in many of my meetings is huge interest in Canadian lithium, huge interest in Canadian graphite, monstrous interest in Canadian copper, interest in cobalt, interest in our rare earths. Again, this is an opportunity for India to diversify away from some of the constraints in the critical mineral supply chain today. That makes India stronger, that makes India more resilient, and it's an opportunity for us to find new customers. That makes us stronger, that makes us more resilient. It's a win-win.
Absolutely. You've been here for a few days. I'll come to what may follow for the rest of your visit, sir. But it's also worth asking the pertinent questions. What have your dialogues been like with your counterparts? The few days that you've had at India Energy Week, some of the discourses and some of the conversations you've had. Could you give us a sneak peek of the talks you've held here?
So we've had a number of conversations with the ministry people here. I'll be in Delhi tomorrow, meeting with a number of the other ministers in the Indian government who cover some of the other areas that I'm responsible for. Nuclear, critical minerals, forestry. We've also been meeting with all of the state-sponsored entities
Sure.
And the private sector energy companies who are here. It's a plethora of companies who've all expressed interest in, as I said, critical minerals, LNG, LPG, uranium, and conventional oil.
Sure. And just again, give us, for those who may not be privy to it, I believe you are leaving for Delhi imminently this afternoon, or yes. So what can we look for? How long are you here, sir? For, if I may.
I'm here tomorrow, and then I have to. We have a parliamentary system where we have to go back and vote.
Duty calls, indeed. So what are you? What's the diary like, sir, for the rest of the day and a half that's left? Because it figures into the wider scheme of you know what Team Canada is aspiring to on this visit.
Look, I've been really pleased and excited with the reception from Minister Puri. I'm sure I will be pleased with the reception tomorrow. I feel like our two countries have so much to gain from working more with each other, and just to put things in perspective, we weren't doing a lot together because of historic issues, but over the last several months, our Minister of Trade, Minister Sidhu, was here. Our Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister Anand, was here. Two very capable Indian Canadians who are my colleagues in government. And as has been widely rumored, my Prime Minister has committed to come here in the next little while. And I fully expect these preparatory meetings to lead up to some very good things between our Prime Minister and your Prime Minister.
Would it be fair to say you're here to lay the ground for a visit in March, as is widely rumored in the broadcast media and the print press?
I think that's a fair assumption.
Absolutely, sir. Look, before we let you go, we've discussed a plethora of commodities. We've discussed business opportunities. We've discussed how the reset is working from intergovernmental standpoint in terms of bilateral relations for Canadian firms and for Indian firms. Is it perhaps too early to say that you have some kind of projections in mind on where this partnership might be come the end of the decade? Do you have some thoughts, some internal projections? A word on that, sir?
Our Prime Minister is a business person. He has clear KPIs that he sets, key performance indicators. Today, bilateral trade between Canada and India is only $30 billion. He's been very clear he expects that to double by the end of the decade. Knowing him, he'll raise the bar, and so I would be very surprised if you didn't see a materially different level of trade between our two countries. Again, I think that makes India more resilient and more secure to have new trading relationships with a reliable supplier like ourselves, and I think that makes us more stable and secure.
Sure. And one final one, and just the analyst's curiosity in me. Before you turned to politics, you're a former investment banker, you're an energy guy, too, with Meg Energy. You've seen the rails. People say that the inexorable direction of travel for the commodities business is east. That is apparent in the volumes. But for you as a professional, as a minister, as a leader, how do you view the approaching horizon, not just for India, and kind of hark back to what Mr. Carney said in Switzerland? How do you view the approaching horizon of this people saying that the inexorable direction of travel is east?
As you know, the world was kind of set up where we kind of developed our trading relationships in a way that was somewhat simplistic. If you talk to any small shopkeeper and you said, hey, is it a good idea for you to sell all your product to one customer? They'd say, yeah, that's not a very good idea. If you talk to any small manufacturer or said, is it a good idea to have all your supplies from one supplier? They'd say, no, that's not a very good idea. You guys have been diversifying your supply chain. I heard Minister Puri say you've gone from sourcing your energy products from about 20 countries to 40 countries. Good for you. We're going to diversify our customer base, and all roads go through the fastest growing economy in the world, the largest source of new energy demand in the world, and I'm really looking forward to spending more time in India.
Absolutely. Portfolio diversity is key when it comes to trading partners, right, sir? Ladies and gentlemen, delighted to have Minister Hodgson's company, Mr. Tim Hodgson, Minister for Energy and Natural Resources of Canada. A round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate your time.